And good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining us today for a new webinar of Go Lean Digital Masterclass series. As the world moves towards digitized operation in all the business sectors, there are lots of confusions booming around, as we all know about it. To address such situations and to find productive business-oriented solutions, CMR and BTBT regularly keep organizing this knowledge-rich masterclass series of webinars with the theme of Go Lean Digital. So I welcome you all again to our today's masterclass series. Today's masterclass is especially on what the new technologies like Web 3.0, ChatGPT, Metaverse, decentralized finance, digital twins, 3D printing, etc. means for business and how well businesses can use them as tools for growth and productivity. Hi, I am Shayon De, Senior Editor at Cyber Media Research and your host for your today's session. We have already conducted 4 webinars about the concept of lean digital transformation before in this series of masterclass since July 2022 to spread awareness about whys and hows for business digitalization among our business peers. The response we received was quite overwhelming, and some of you might have attended a couple of those webinars before. And I welcome you back again for the 5th one. Your participation fuels our effort and gives us the boost to keep going on. Before we proceed further, please note that throughout the session today, all our participants will be on listen-only mode. If you have any questions, then please post them directly to the chat window in front of you. We will do a dedicated Q&A session at the end of the masterclass. In the last masterclass, we got a lot of questions, but we are unable to answer all of them due to time limitations. I hope we will be able to answer more questions this time. So to briefly set the context for today's session, we all know how COVID pandemic made digital transformation an immediate need, and we also witnessed how industry adopted the digitalization processes and evolved rapidly in the last 3-4 years. That brings us to the next challenge, keeping the competitive edge in the business. A few months ago, tech terms like AI, ML, blockchain, IoT, data science were just buzzwords. But today, they are being actively implemented and experimented with. Even startups and micro enterprises are developing various kind of new solutions around it. Similarly, today, there are new buzzwords which are looming around, like Web 3.0, ChatGPT, Metaverse, digital twins, 3D printing, etc. They are at very nascent stage right now, but it is really crucial to understand how they will pan out to bring a good future for the business. So the digital transformation strategy you should adopt must be flexible and lenient enough, which lets you grow in the environment of rapidly changing technology. But having a sound enterprise digital transformation strategy paints only half of the picture. But in the end, customers are the king, as we all know, and ensuring an interactive customer experience, or I should say business excellence model, is still a challenge. Lots of questions will be raised and many of the answers have to be found. So our session today focuses on going lean digital and uncovering the synergy of Web 3.0, ChatGPT, Metaverse, digital twins, and 3D printing for business excellence. To address all such questions, from a business growth point of view, it's my pleasure to introduce to our keynote speaker today, Mr. V. Srinivasa Rao, Chairman and MD of BTBT. Can we have Mr. Rao on the screen, please?
Right.
Okay. Hello and welcome, Mr. Rao, and thank you for joining us today.
Good afternoon.
Before I hand over the screen to you, allow me to give a brief introduction about you to our attendees. Mr. Rao has 26 years of diverse experience in the IT industry and has worked in multiple senior executive positions like Senior VP and CDO at Indian IT majors like Tech Mahindra, ITCS, Infosys, iGate, Satyam, etc. He is a business leader. He is a globally acknowledged keynote speaker, an author, and a techno-social entrepreneur. He was featured in Fortune 500 India as one of the rubber soles for Satyam Computers' turnaround story. He is a recipient of multiple awards from PMI, Infosys, iGate, Tech Mahindra, etc. He also authored some great books. A couple of them are like Software-Defined Smart Cities, Lean Digital Thinking, etc., which you can find on the web and read on Amazon Kindle directly. Currently, he is also the chairman of Open Digital Innovation Group at IET India. So, welcome again, Mr. Rao, and the audience are over to you now.
Thank you. So, have a good day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining this session. I think we have been doing so many sessions on Go lean digital. So we have been advocating digital enterprises are fat to build and manage. So what is the most important thing we have been advocating is you must have lean digital enterprises. In the previous sessions, almost I think we completed 4 sessions. So we told what is a lean digital enterprise, how it is different and all. So when we talk about any technologies, my key message here is let us all take a promise that we design, we build and operate lean digital enterprises, not very simple digital enterprises. So with that note, today I thought some of these new technologies, I think very buzzwords like Web 3.0, Metaverse, 3D printing, digital twins, okay, and GPT-3, ChatGPT. So all those things, I think, if you look at every 3-4 years, some new technology stack will come. It doesn't mean that they did not exist, but they reach some level of maturity now. That means you can see the value when you implement within the businesses or organizations. So with that note, what we thought is, I think under this Go Lean Digital series, let us have today only an introduction. I mean, I don't think within 45 minutes time we can talk about all technologies in detail. But certainly, I'm pretty confident that you get an idea of what are all these new technologies, how they are going to impact the businesses, and what are the steps the business executives need to take. Okay. So with that note, let me share my presentation. One second. I hope you are able to see my presentation.
Yes, we can.
All right. So good. I think if you look at every 5 years, this is my experience, the technology stack is evolving. I think there are very significantly new technologies are coming in, and businesses are not able to absorb all these technologies at the pace of the technology innovations. Even today, if you look at some of the organizations still talking about, when we talk about digitalization, they say, oh, during COVID time, we used Zoom, we used Microsoft Teams, we are digital. Or we used some productivity applications like Microsoft 365 or Google. I think that is at level 0 of digitalization. There are so many things can be done. That's where I think the previous 4 sessions, if you have missed out, look at them and understand that digitalization is touching the whole anatomy of the organization. It's like a human body. We identified 12 organs within the organization. All the 12 organs get impacted. Product is one organ, service is another organ, process is an organ, workplace. Like that, there are 12 elements will get impacted. Unfortunately, organizations are not best leveraging holistically how these technologies are impacting my whole anatomy. Of course, based on our leadership bandwidth, based on our budget, based on our capabilities and constraints, you may touch, if not all the elements of the 12, at least 1 or 2 to begin with. But those things are also not effective. So organizations are not agile enough. They have been built, the organizations. I'm talking about the organizations which have been there for many decades. There is some sort of a comfort, there is some sort of resistance to change. That's where I think that the flexibility or agility is not there. But when the crisis comes, how you bounce back, that is called resilience. Some of the organizations even don't have that resilience. They disappear. So the key message, what I'm trying to tell here is whenever new technologies basically are injected into the market, understand what is the impact of those technologies on our businesses and try to start the proof of concepts and then see what timeline you need to get in or you don't need the technology. So this is what I think today, whatever the sessions I'm doing, I'm mainly focusing on the digital immigrants. That means the manufacturing companies or healthcare, banking, retail, transportation, all these industries have been there for many decades, right? Those industries built with some technology foundation. Okay, they are not born digitals like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, all those, right? That's what's happening now today because of these technological innovations. There are 2 or 3 important competitors are invading the organizations. These digital immigrants, I call them as the traditional organizations. Number 1, digital dragons. GAFA, Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, they are slowly getting into traditional industries. Apple got into automotive industry. Google already got into automotive industry. Amazon and Google already got into the banking payment industry, right? And the watch industry is basically encroached by Apple and Samsung, for example, right? So the traditional industries are now challenged by these digital natives. And not only these big dragons, you also have the lizards, which I call it, the digital lizards, the tech startups. Okay, fintech, GovTech, build tech, health tech, whatnot, right? They are taking some element of the businesses. If these 2 are coming in, and not only that, in the traditional enterprises or organizations also, the organizations which are very progressive and forward-looking, they are also preparing for the next orbit of the businesses. So you are now sandwiched with the dragons, lizards, and your own industry from manufacturing, healthcare, and banking. That was there for the last many decades, but now you got another 2 sets of competition you need to get in. Okay, why all these things happening? Let's look at here. So I would like to introduce, most of you guys have heard about the evolution of the web. I think 1990, when I started my career in 95, so we used to see the web. What is that web 1.0? When you just put the URL, you get a static page, nothing else. Just it is a static page, right? Okay, there is no interaction and you are just viewing it or reading it. That is web 1.0. But when come to the web 2.0, when it started in 2000, then I think your social media, that means it is interaction started between you and the web. Facebook, Twitter, Wikipedia, blogs, whatnot. It's a two-way communication style. That is called what? Interaction, right? And the web 3.0, that is, I think from 2010 onwards it started, but it became pretty popular now in 2020 plus. It is not just interaction, it is immersive experiences. I will tell you an example. Suppose I am sitting in Hyderabad, Sai is sitting in Delhi. We both want to have a cup of coffee. Okay, then what I do in the web 3.0, I am going to have an immersive experience. I will put a VR headset, right? And also I will wear a VR suit. Okay, and then whatever handles are there, and Sai also will do the same thing there. Then we both probably will get into a new imaginary world using virtual reality. Of course, that is called Metaverse, which I'll also talk about. Without wearing VR headset, we can't get in there. So an imaginary world is created in the Metaverse or some other environment. We both means we are physically sitting at homes or offices, but our avatars are there. So both avatars are gone and sitting in a single table place. Okay, and here probably I am taking and a coffee and all. Probably that moment also can be seen as my avatar is doing, because I am wearing the VR headset and the maybe some haptic gloves. Maybe if I give a punch, then Sayan also feel the punch. That new technology, haptic technologies are there. That means what you are getting, a physical worlds are created in imaginary world. Okay, another example I will tell you. I was just I wrote one article in LinkedIn. Okay, I went to Hastinapur. How it is possible? I created a metaverse called Hastinapur. Okay, I wore that Google, whatever that goggles, VR headset, and then the VR suit. Then I just immediately got into the virtual Hastinapur. There I saw my favorite. Okay, I am from Andhra Pradesh. You know that the senior India was one of the superstars in the old generation, right? He was known for playing the different roles, Lord Sri Krishna, Duryodhan, Karna and all. So the avatars of those three were there, sitting there. Okay. And Bhishma, Amitabh Bachchan avatar is coming. All imaginary world I created myself as a script, but I am into that imaginary world by wearing this VR headset and all. So we all discussed and they said, hey, VSR, you are a closest friend of Duryodhan. Why don't you go and talk to him and stop the war? Then my avatar went to, along with Karna, Krishna and Bhishma, went to Duryodhan's probably the room and I spoke to him. Of course, that's only an action, right? Then Duryodhan said, oh, fantastic. Why not? I think we should stop the war. So VS are able to stop the war. All this is, I think, just imaginary script, right? I created, but I can get into that virtual Hastinapur and do it. Then myself and Duryodhan Duryodhan went to the shopping and he purchased something in NFT and handed it over to him. Non-fungible tokens, the virtual goods or whatever, right? I think that is the imaginary world you create. You get into that imaginary world and you experience it and all. Okay. So I think this is what Web 1.0 is just viewing. Web 2.0 is interacting. That means you are able to have a dialogue. And Web 3.0 is you are in the web and you get immersed, right? I think that's, very important for all of us to understand. We are in the era of Web 3.0. And there are so many innovations happening. Now, coming to Web 3.0, a little bit more, look at here. So I already talked about Metaverse and there are so many blockchain applications are coming in, the decentralized applications. I'm not going to spend today too much on that. But today only we are trying to tell that there are decentralized applications are coming in when this Web 3.0 is there. And the decentralized finance, DeFi, or the NFTs web, when NFTs marketplace like OpenSea, or the exchange for the cryptocurrencies, the decentralized exchange, that is Uniswap. All these are new set of applications which are entirely different from your traditional applications where you have a central database. But here, there might be hundreds of nodes are available and your data is not stored in a central database. It is probably stored at multiple computers and nodes in the ledger format. Anyhow, no details here. So the decentralized applications, then your web browsers like Chrome and Edge and all are probably getting outdated. They are Web 2.2. Now you are getting the Web 3.2 browsers like Brave, Opera, and MetaMask and all. That means if you want to interact with these decentralized applications, you need such type of browsers. Let us imagine there are 1 billion people in India have the computers. They have a lot of computing power. Then with Web 3.0, that computing power, which is decentralized, can be aggregated and you can provide that computing power to the people all over the world. Imagine that is a challenge to the Amazon and other Azure type of cloud data centers, which are centralized with millions of square feet of the real estate and too much of consumption of the electricity and all. But your distributed computing power is aggregated from different people, even like us, that also can be offered, right? So these are all, I think, if you look at the Web 3.0. So Web 3.0 is immersive, which I already spoke about. Web 3.0 means there is no central data stored. It is basically stored at multiple different nodes scattered across the world. And you have a different type of browsers. And your cloud storage need not be at the AWS or Microsoft Azure. There are so many third-party cloud storage providers are coming in. They are aggregating the scattered computing power from multiple computing devices and providing. Okay. Then the other important thing I would like to give you an idea. So when probably if you look at, we were the first generation guys. I started digital businesses at Tech Mahindra 2011-12. So at that time, people used to call SMAC. I'm sure some of the people might have understood that is Social Mobile Analytics Cloud. Okay, different companies call different things. When I was in Tech Mahindra, we used to call NMAX. That means the networks, the mobile analytics cloud, social sensors and security. After that, 2020, 2010, 2015, it is over. Then 2016 to 2020, I call it as IDAM. That is, we started using extensively the Internet of Things and distributed ledger technologies like blockchain and artificial intelligence, then mixed reality. Now, I think you got into the 2021 onwards, we look at now, it's not like these technologies were not there in the past, this 3D printing, I think it now, but it is getting mature. And Metaverse already emerged. The digital twins are also reaching its maturity. And I will talk about the transformers, all the ChatGPT, okay, the Google Bard, all these things also coming in. I think last 3 months, everybody's making too much of noise, right? So today our whole goal is to talk about these things, okay? Web 3.0 is the key message, and SMAC and IDAM reaching its level of maturity and probably may become hygiene technologies. Now you need to look at in the next couple of years, 3 to 5 years time, how do you prepare for this 3D printing, metaverse, digital twins, and transformers? That is a key message. Okay. Now let us start very brief introductions. Just give me 1 minute. I hope you're able to see it, right? Okay. The first one, let us talk about the 3D printing. If you look at in the past, if you want to manufacture or produce any product, that is a subtractive manufacturing. That means when raw material is there, what you do, you use some machines and then you try to finish it. That means you are removing the material. Agree? Maybe it is a lathe machine, maybe it is a miller machine, whatever it is, right? But today it is entirely different. It is an additive manufacturing. That means you are not removing, you are using different type of materials and you are trying to print the components. Okay, there are so many 3D printers have come, that is called additive manufacturing. Okay, so let us look at few examples here. I will show you. You probably some people already know it. I hope you are able to see and listen the recording and the sound. Able to see?
My name is Danit Pele. I've just graduated from Shankar College of Design. I wanted to create a ready-to-wear collection printed entirely at home, using printers that anyone can get. I've spent the past year searching for the best solution. I worked with leading experts in the field.
Okay.
I really like the result. It looks a little bit like lace.
The next one, let us go to this is a cake made using 3D print. Okay, so it's all just material, right? And then just program it, like computer, what are the ingredients, all the materials, so that means your food items are also getting. Then the next very interesting thing, look at here. And here, this 3D printer is just printing the Eiffel Tower. Just look at how it is going to print it. Okay. That means imagine how the components are getting printed. Just you are modeling it in a computer and then sending that code to the 3D printer and putting the required material. It could be metal, it could be graphite, it could be carbon fiber, whatever, different type of metals can be put in. Of course, the materials are evolving. So even I think another interesting example. So look at here. This is Eiffel Tower is just simply coming out, right? Imagine in the retail industry, if you go to any consumer stores or a retail shop, a simple 3D printer can give gifts on the fly, whatever you want. Probably you can select it, they can print it and give it to you, right? I mean, it's not just only the high-end manufacturing companies. Okay. Now let us look at, this is another interesting thing. You can 3D print the buildings. Why? They 3D print a villa with different creativity. But this is a huge robo building. And the material is that's another interesting thing. my dear friends, in the next 10 to 15 years, we reach a stage we can 3D print human organs. But the materials here are biomaterials, bio-friendly materials. You can print the ear, you can print the arm, you can print the liver. That's the future. Today they are able to print skin. So it is a 3D printed technique. Look at there. See there. So don't you think the technologies are going back the humans in a very fantastic 3D printed years? So that's what I think. So what is the key message I would like to give you here is, products are not manufactured by subtracting the material which was there for hundreds of years. Now the products are manufactured by adding the material, additive nature. It could be automotive components, it could be space clothes, or you already saw that it could be a building, it could be human organs, it could be clothes, it could be food items, whatnot, right? So imagine now you need to ask yourself, oh, what is the impact of this 3D printing in the food industry, in the retail industry, in the manufacturing industry, in the construction industry, how it is going to change? L&T already demonstrated a 3D printed house in their premises. Okay, so we already talked about Metaverse, right? The Metaverse is nothing but creating an imaginary world which doesn't exist as per the script what we design. Okay, and we wearing the VR or AR headset or VR suit till I think the leg, because without VR headset you don't really feel what is required, right? And also some of the haptic technology handles and all. You get into that imaginary web. I already explained. Maybe let us see one video.
Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
Looking good. Let's get together real quick for a debrief.
The physical object is represented here in virtual form. Now she got a call. The real.
I'm free now. Let's jump in. Hi.
Hey.
Hologram.
So what do we think?
These are all happened in the past in movies, right? She was somewhere. Now her hologram is
I think it's
here.
ready.
This guy is standing. Both are having conversation.
I'll prep it for the presentation.
All right. Good luck.
Imagine a space where you can tune out distractions and
So I want to have my office space at Manhattan in one of the tallest buildings with probably, let us say 10, something like 1,000 square feet or 2,000 square feet or 4,000 square feet office. Can I afford today? No, but I can create that office in Metaverse, and I can sitting at my home wearing the headset and all. I feel as if I am in that office, because when I am wearing that, I am getting into that ambience, that environment, that lighting and all. I am working, and I can invite my friends to come and join me as avatars, right? So I think that's what the Metaverse, and now you need to look at how this Metaverse will be useful for having the immersive experience. For example, JP Morgan Chase introduced customer experience center in Metaverse. That means when you wear the VR headset or AR and VR headset, you get into Metaverse. There, the avatar of JP Morgan representative and you will have a conversation as if you are within the bank. You got my point, what I'm saying, right? And there are so many games are there, immersive experience games are there. So there are so many industries now getting it, how they can provide a better customer experience, right? So that's where, if suppose I want to travel to one of the touring places, tourist places, then there is a tourist place of virtual replica of that within Metaverse. First, I will get in there, I experience. If I like it, then only I purchase the ticket. That means you are getting the experience of the physical world within Metaverse, right? So imagine now, whatever not possible, but there is a negative implication also here. People who get addicted to Metaverse probably also can create negative words. Like somebody is very much interested, he has a negative thoughts to do something like drug trafficking or killing and all, then they can create such type of world within the Metaverse, and they always experience such type of things. After all, the human brain, what is the experience you get it? That's where your brain also get nurtured. The neurotransmitters and the neurons connections and the way your mind is prepared is based on the experience you get it. Imagine in Metaverse, you are continuously getting into a negative environments, unwarranted environments and all. That is a danger the youth have to be managed. Now let us look at digital twin. What is this digital twin as per IBM look at here? It is a virtual model designed to reflect the physical object. So can I have a digital twin of mine? Yes. Can I have a twin of a car? Yes. Can I have a twin of a heart? Yes. So it's like a twins. Again, movies we see that, but this twin is exact replica of the physical object in 3D model done in software. And nothing new. The 3D models are there for many decades, right? But what is so new here, let me explain. In the digital twin, for example, you take, when I was chairing the Smart Cities Working Group under IET, we started something called water twin. That means what? There is a reservoir and the water is coming, there is a meters, and the meters are today very intelligent, right? The IoT meters are there. The pipelines are also having the sensors and all that water distribution system is created in 3D model within the software. Okay, that's fine. We have been doing it. But the beauty here is it is exact replica, but at the same time, the actual data in the physical water distribution system through sensors, through cameras, and other instruments is coming and sitting in this 3D model twin. That means the actual, the real-time data is coming in, which was not the case in the other 3D models at all. So the first difference is the actual data is coming in. Okay, what next? By using this actual data, I use the algorithms, the artificial intelligence, machine learning algorithms. I can predict. I can view what is going to happen. One example I will tell you, if I have a twin of ATM machine, let us take that. Okay, then the ATM machine twin is available, then ATM machine is sending some parameters using sensors and others. What that? Okay, the wear and tear of the belt, the temperature getting emitted from the belt when it is operated and all. See that is coming from the physical ATM to a digital ATM. Then the algorithms and artificial intelligence algorithms will take those parameters and see it is going to fail probably in the next 2 weeks because the parameters coming in is reflecting. If it continues like this, it is predicting and telling when it is going to fail, right? So that is the beauty of the twin. It's not only that, there are so many other things are there. So if you want to test something, a new product, which you can't really, today what happens, usually they spend a lot of money and then do the prototyping, the actual product. And if it doesn't work, again, they have to go and spend a lot of labor, material, machines and all. Why? You can create the digital twin of whatever the design you have, and the historical data or some test sample data, you send it, simulate it, and do it, and see the result, right? So you are basically creating the future with the digital twin and able to take the predictive and preventive actions, right? So there are so many things. You can have a twin for a small part, okay, a small component, or if you combine them, the parts and components, you can have an asset as a digital twin. If multiple assets are integrated, then it might be a system. If multiple systems are integrated, it might be an end-to-end process. So it is a twins of twins. So there is a complete interaction among these twins. It is a big subject. But the point of discussion here is The digital twins are the replica of your physical objects or physical entities. Singapore has created a digital twin for the whole city. They can predict what is going to happen at a particular place, probably in terms of water shortage or in terms of any other issues, right? Okay, so why the twin is required for a city? Because it's not like reactive, like a municipal corporations, what we do in India, right? It's like predicting, because you have the twin, you have the real data coming in from the real environment, and you are able to predict, you are able to see the future, and you are able to take corrective and preventive action, so that a lot of money can be saved, and also a lot of discomfort can be avoided, and a lot of casualties might be avoided if it is a big problem, right? I think that's what the digital twin is. Okay, so we talk about Web 3.0, we talk about the 3D printing, Metaverse, digital twin. Let us look at here, for example. So Philips has done an experimentation having the digital twin of human heart. The data is pumped probably from the pacemakers or other instruments, whatever you put it, right? Then it can also predict when the heart probably going to get into trouble. It sends an automatic message to the doctors and relatives. So the digital twin of the heart, right? The digital twin of a city, the digital twin of a component in a car, the digital twin of a car itself, right? All those things are possible. So with that now, I think let us get into the very new topic, which we have been hearing for the last 3-4 months. It's called transformers. What are these? Before we talk about transformers, let us understand the artificial intelligence 3 categories. One is narrow. They do very specific tasks like Siri, Alexa, and they know only one thing or 2 things or 3 things. That's it. Very specific tasks, right? They don't understand the change in environment. They don't adjust and adapt. That is called narrow artificial intelligence. General artificial intelligence means they are very intelligent. They can understand the new situations, new scenarios. They themselves will get trained and then adjust to that and start responding to it. Okay. So that is still in the nascent stage, it is coming out. Then super intelligent artificial intelligence, it surpasses the human intelligence. Very dangerous. Then you reach a singularity. That means a robot may be more powerful than you. A bot can be more powerful than you. This is only theory today. We have not yet reached there. Even general artificial intelligence, we are some level. Now, whatever we are talking now, ChatGPT or GPT-3 or Google Bard and all come under general artificial intelligence. Okay, they are not designed for only specific tasks, right? And they can handle so many things, right? Okay, so this is now the transformer. This is a very language model. You know that this natural language processing, NLP and all, right? So if you look at any language models, they basically are able to understand the natural language, what we give, English, Telugu, whatever. Machine translation, I'm sure you have seen Google may translate from one language to another language, maybe hundreds of languages, right? Telugu to English, Hindi to Telugu, or Hindi to French, all those, right? That is the power of general artificial intelligence, and that is the power of language model. The language models are trained in such with the data sets available in such a way they can translate from one language to another language, and they can recognize the speech, and they can summarize. If I give 3 pages of the text, they can extract the summary, give the executive summary. And you saw the chatbots today. intelligent chatbots. That's where we are going to talk about it, ChatGPT today, right? Okay, so these are all called, what is this language models? The language models are called transformers. That is another name, right? So what are these transformers? Sorry, what are these transformers here? Look at one of the transformers here is generative pre-trained transformer. That is where I think the OpenAI designed, right? So the OpenAI has designed that, right? And this generative pre-trained transformer 3 means third version. Today I think 3.2 also there. Is trained on 175 billion parameters. That means they have gone through the whole internet world. The web pages, the books, the audios, the videos, whatnot, right? This could be audio, this could be video, this could be text. Everything is fed into this, and this GPT-3 is trained with 175 billion parameters, maybe the words, whatever you call, right? It's all text available, videos available, audios available. And it used 1,024 CPUs and 34 days, costing approximately 4.6 million, and consumed approximately 936 megawatts of electrical energy to train this generative pre-trained transformer, GPT-3. I think GPT 3.5 is available, it seems, and 4 is also offering, right? But one important thing here, look at the previous slide I want to show. Is it the only one? No. There are so many transformers are there. GPT-3 is only one. And Google Lambda is another transformer. On the top of that, they built Google Bard, BARD. And our friends, the nasty guys, always tells we are ahead of the curve, also claiming the China, they built Vue Devo 2.0. And hey, ChatGPT, hey, GPT-3, you tried just 175 billion parameters. We already tried 1.75 trillion parameters. You are just a kid. That's where they are claiming, right? But God knows. China, whatever they say, we don't know whether it is real or not. If it is true, then it is really, I think, very dangerous and amazing both, right? So I think you need to understand that the artificial intelligence is now, with these natural language processing and all, creating so many powerful language models called transformers. And these are all ready-made transformers, GPT-3, Google Lambda, all these things. On the top of that, there are so many applications are built. On the top of these transformers, what is the one of the applications built is ChatGPT. ChatGPT itself is not a transformer. It is built on the top of a transformer called GPT-3, right? So look at here, what are the things you can do, very interesting things you can do. I will show some examples if possible. Okay. So you can write, let me go to ChatGPT. I hope you are able to see here.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Write an English song with emotions and frustration. Sorry. The context of Indian culture. Yes. Give me 1 minute. Let us see. I hope you are able to see this. Verse 1. Yeah, it's right in it. Look at that. I was born in a land of wonder where colors and chaos collide. Okay, anyhow, some of our singers can sing it. That's fine, right? So it is writing the song, and I will ask, give me a very comprehensive go-to-market plan for my real estate construction quality software as a service for Indian market. Sure, here is the comprehensive go-to-market plan for our real estate construction. Define our target audience, conduct market research, etc., etc. Build our brand, etc., etc. Okay, I'm stopping it. Can you also give specific details of the above plan? So let us see what we give. Sure, here are the specific details. Target identify our ideal customer, target audience such as construction companies, real estate developers, architects, builders, right? So this is another interesting thing. Now let me ask this. Hey, I'll say, girl in Nepal and boy in Amaravati are in love, but parents did not agree. Girl's father is criminal and he wants to kill the boy. So write a fiction story or a movie story on this contextual to Indian scenario. Let us see. Love Beyond Borders. Title also it gave. Huh? So it is giving the opening scene, the sun sets over the mountains of Nepal as we see girl named Kavya standing on the rooftop. Act 1, Act 2. I'm sure, guys, I think you understand the power of this. It is giving. Now, what I say, hey, can you give me script for this? It's not only just only novel. Can you give me script for this? Okay. However, I can provide you with the simple sense. Kavya's house night. Kavya is standing on the rooftop, so it is giving some script. Hurry, angrily. Kavya, what are you doing here? All right, so it is giving script. Then I'll say, give me some violent drug trafficking why it's taking that much time. I want to show you what response it will give. That's the reason I gave. Let us see. I am sorry, but as an AI language model, I cannot generate inappropriate content. That's what I want to show it to you. It is intelligent enough to say, hey, I can't do the wrong things, right? That's where it tried, right? One or two examples I'll give, then we can close this. What examples are there here? Okay, right. Give me a tweet on current Indian democracy situation. For example, what it will see? Let us see. It has given a tweet. Okay. So just I said, give me a tweet. Okay, write a blog on Sam, any topic you want to blog? Let us see Metaverse. Metaverse and blockchain together in 100 words. Okay, so as imagine now, the other interesting thing I'll tell you, give me a resume for CEO position in a top IT company, top IT company who must be able to manage a $3 billion global business with the multinationals who has a great track history. Let us see. So I'm asking a resume, okay? Actually, when people are using so many people, it is slow. Millions of people are using this, so then usually what I do is I'll refresh it sometimes, then it will go a bit fast. So, oh my God. Sometimes it is warning me within 1 hour, you are using too much, please stop, come after some time. Name, email, executive summary. So executive summary, okay. So this is one. And another interesting thing, just let us see, it can generate question papers. Okay. It can generate question papers. If you give an essay, it can create a multiple choice questions, right? And so give me question paper on React JS in multiple choice questions, fill in the blank formats. What is React JS? Now it is giving multiple choice questions. You get there. So I asked MCQ, and of course you can also ask without answers. It is also giving answers. In fact, last time I gave one test to it. One multiple choice questions, I gave it to ChatGPT and asked her to give the answers. It got 46.6% marks. So it is still not ready for answering all the manufacturing questions, right? So that's I think okay. This is one format. You can have fill in the blank. You can have open-ended questions. I think it is a excellent tool for teachers, right? They can simply take and put content, and from that essay content also you can ask, create the questions, right? Now it is the fill in the blanks, right? So we talk about language translation. It can do. You can write emails, right? Okay, just last one because and it can do. Okay, just last two things we'll do. Give me website layout for my healthcare company, which has super specialty disciplines with people coming from multiple countries. Look at here, this is the website layout. I'm asking it. And you know one thing, sometimes for this website layout, it will give code also. Company logo, banner. So I don't want to take. Yesterday, I think one of my friends, he was in a party, political party. He asked me, give me some thoughts. I put my rough thoughts. It took 10 minutes to put my rough thoughts. It took another 5 minutes to refine it using ChatGPT. Within 30 minutes, I gave an excellent outcome to it. But our thought should be there. You can't depend on that. Our brain should be there. It is a tool for improving productivity. It is a tool for our mind is an engineering English, may not be great English. I can also ask it to correct my English, right? These are all there. And the last one, I will say, it can give a cooking recipes. If you can ask how to create Hyderabad dum biryani, it will give you exactly how you can create it. It can give you code, and it can give you key performance indicators for a particular role, so on and so forth. Okay. So now let us summarize. So all those things you hear. Now you take a scenario where, okay, a company. So if you want to have a 3D printing is very flexible, right? I can have components which are not possible with this traditional subtractive manufacturing. With the printing, when you create a 3D model, I can have a personalized shapes. A customized products are possible, which is very difficult in the traditional, right? So that is a scenario where you can explore. 3D printing is very, very flexible. Then you can create an excellent customer experience scenarios, even buying experiences within the metaverse to the customers, right? And then the social media today is completely monetized. Our own data, you don't have an ability to monetize. Facebook is monetizing, Google is monetizing, Microsoft might be monetizing, and that era will end. You as a company or an individual doing any social media things, the data is owned by you. They cannot touch your data because of Web 3.0 and blockchain technologies. There are new social media sites are coming like Minds. Okay, there the data is not stored in Facebook or other central social media servers. It is stored in a public blockchain and multiple nodes. Unless you give the permission, nobody can access. Okay, and then there are no intermediaries in your businesses now going forward. And you know why you need to have so many intermediaries. For example, if you take a banking transactions and all, of course, legally there might be challenges we have to look at. That is a separate subject. We'll talk about it, right? So some of these things like a decentralized autonomous organizations. Okay, if suppose you have internal policies like in this situation, the leave is like this, in this situation, the procurement has to be done and all. We don't need any procurement manager. We don't need any HR manager. The blockchain smart contract technologies will help you understand the situation and take the decision and implement it. You don't need any intermediaries there, right? So those things you have to explore. And then the supply chain visibility starting to end today possible with IoT, blockchain, Web 3.0, and digital twins. As I already mentioned, you can create the physical twin, physical object in the digital twin. Okay, and transformers can improve the employee productivity and other things. So I think to summarize, to be successful, which myself and science team continuously telling is, you have to be lean digital. That's where the title here is Go Lean Digital. One key message I would like to tell you: if you just blindly go and want to implement these technologies, you will fail. You must understand, first you have to acquire a digital mindset holistically. Whether you are a developer or a business executive, doesn't matter. That's a way to find a lean digital manifesto, like Lean Manifesto, like Agile Manifesto. There are so many manifestos are there. So this is what a fundamental shift required for everyone, especially in the businesses. Understand that digital thinking, lean digital thinking, you have to understand every line here. After that, you to implement these principles within our organization, how those technologies will be useful is what you have to apply. Thank you so much. I think you're on mute, Sam.
Okay, team, please put both of us on the center screen. Yes, thank you. VSR, can you please stop sharing screen?
Just 1 second.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks a lot, Mr. Rao, for the interesting session. I personally found the part really helpful and fun, where you actually showcase the ability of ChatGPT. So there are lots of questions coming around, especially around ChatGPT. People are really still wondering that how ChatGPT is still useful, because there are good old Google search is still there, and why people should go above Google search using ChatGPT, and are the content provided by ChatGPT accurate and plagiarism free? Are those dependable for business purposes?
See, the ChatGPT is not going to give you, when you search, for example, Google will give you first page some 20 links, and after that next and all. I have to open them, I have to read them, I have to abstract them and create some document. So the ChatGPT, you just give a query, automatically it gives that summary abstract. That is number one. That means your searching, reading and abstract time is reduced. Number two, is it accurate? Yes, it is accurate in the situations where it is properly trained. Okay, so we have to be aware. You cannot depend on any AI tools in the first set. That's where the new roles are coming in today. Whatever content is generated by ChatGPT, you are getting QA, ChatGPT QA guys. The content has to be reviewed before it is going to our customers, before you are going to the stakeholders, right? But it will reduce 50 to 60% of your time. That's fine, right? So that is number two. Okay, so accuracy cannot be guaranteed in few cases. 100% accuracy is guaranteed in few cases. It all depends on how it got trained. Tomorrow, Google bot might be very powerful. You don't know. Because the lambda, somebody said it already reached some singularity. I don't know, whatever it is, right? We don't know, right? So that is one important. Okay, plagiarism, it is very difficult to find from ChatGPT because it generates, right? If you go to any tool, it will say that it is original. But remember, if we generate anything in ChatGPT, there are again another GPT type tools are available. I will check and put your content into those tools. It will say that it is AI generated. You are gone. Don't cheat anyone. Okay. Today there are tools available to tell you, hey, this is not human generated. This is AI generated or machine generated. So you can't fool your teachers. You can't fool your bosses. It's very difficult to do. Right?
So not an exam. So not an exam setting tool, you are saying.
So I think that's very important, right? There is opposite. I mean, when there is advantages, the people will misuse it. To avoid that misuse, there are tools coming in to ensure that it is machine generated. Easily you can identify.
Okay.
Plagiarism is difficult. You can't find that. It thinks it is original today. Yeah.
So Mr. A. Roy have been asking a question. So 3D printing technology is there for some time already, but recently, since the Web 3.0 actually emerged, people start comparing 3D printing and the Web 3.0 as a connecting streamline technology. Why people are connecting these two? How come the 3D printing technology and Web 3.0 is actually connected?
No, I don't think. I think without Web 3.0, also 3D printing exists. But my view is, suppose you have the design file available. Right. So if the design file is a gun, anybody in the world can take that from the dark web and then using the printer, they can print a gun. Right. In the Web 3.0, there might be more and more controls will be there. If you want to download also, probably the authentication has to be done. And when you implement this Web 3.0 technologies, these negative aspects might be controlled. It's not like Web 3.0 is mandatory to have 3D printing. No. Right?
But
so yeah. So okay. What is data source for the ChatGPT? That's where I said, when a kid is born, what is the data source? Father, mother, grandmother, grandfather, neighbors, outside when you go to the retail mall, the salesperson. It is all the data is getting fed into that kid brain, right? Like that, the language model GPT-3 is the source. The language model GPT-3 is trained with 170 billion parameters which are coming from internet, the vast internet. All the documents, all the web pages, all the audios, all the videos, right? They have taken all those things and trained this language model called GPT-3. That is the input for ChatGPT, which is an application built on the GPT-3. And whenever you give a query, the ChatGPT will talk to the GPT-3 at the back. And it is already having like a human, like I have a knowledge, right? If you ask me something, I'm telling now, exactly the language models are getting built like that. They are like virtual brains. You are feeding them, you are training them. If the transformers are in the wrong hands, let us take the transformer is with the criminals. Then they will train it in such a way, you always generate negative content, always demotivate the people, never positively talk. Whatever you give, it will say negative. Whatever you say, it is the sex, violence, drug. Everything is negative, negative. How it is? Because you taught like that. If a kid is born and brought up in a very bad environment, how the kid is. The same thing here also. The language models are like your kids.
Okay, so here comes the point that if GPT-3 is so powerful, so can GPT-3 based tools help us improving customer experience for businesses? Is it so?
Absolutely. For example, if customer is fed up, and then one example I'll tell you and wants to blast you on all, then I can ask ChatGPT, this is the context, please tell me how I can convince the customer. One example. Okay. And equivalent to ChatGPT, it's not ChatGPT. Today there are robo legal advisors. If I get an extraordinary legal advice without the lawyer, don't you think it is a great experience to me? In UK, do not pay chatbot helped reducing 40% of the revenue for the police department because faltu tickets are raised. The robo advisor has basically analyzed and gave. So yes, you can. There are so many scenarios are there. You can certainly. So I wrote a mail. I am not liking my colleague and he is insulting in an office, for example, and etc. etc. Please give me the how I have to handle. What is the content I can use and send a mail first. It will give you.
Okay, then I think it concludes the most relevant questions we found. So with this one, we come to an end for today's session, everyone. I hope you have found it useful. If there are any more questions or if you want an one-to-one interaction with our expert speaker, Mr. V. Srinivasa Rao, then please feel free to mail me those queries directly to me. You can find my mail ID on the chat window. Thank you, Mr. Rao, for sparing your valuable time with us. And thanks to all of our attendees for joining us today. I hope you found it useful. Before you leave, we request you to fill out the feedback form. This time, we would like to know which topic related to the digital transformation or lean digital transformation you would like to attend more detailed workshops on. We have mentioned various areas in the feedback form. So do fill it up and let us know what interests you the most. And warm thank you to everyone again. For
so one caution, GPT-3 is trained till 2021 data. If you ask anything contextual after April 2021, it doesn't know. The brain is not yet ready. Okay, so please note that. And
so it's not good for future prediction. As someone
no. Anything you ask after 2021, it says I don't know. Its brain is prepared till 2021 data.
Okay.
And it is not real time. It doesn't go to internet search and all. It is already trained. But Google is taking. They want to go to the even real time search in the web and then get the answer. That's the difference they are going to create with the BARD.
So they are going to beat the competition of ChatGPT.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
After 12 months, we might see a great fun. Let us see.
Okay. So it comes to an end again. And a warm thank you to everyone for sparing your valuable time with us. And Mr. VSR, thank you for joining us today and sharing this kind of a useful and knowledge-rich presentation with us. Hope to see you in the next webinar again. Stay safe, stay healthy, everyone, and goodbye for now.
Thank you.